So, Trump is back, and he didn't waste any time. The news is already full of his decrees, proposals, and decisions. So, today I thought I'd make a video kind of organizing and summarizing all that information for you. So, let's get right into it. And we'll start with his probably most significant and shocking proposal, bringing the Gaza Strip under American control. He made this proposal standing next to his friend and colleague, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who supported the idea. But what does he really want to do? We don't know yet for sure, but he implicated buying the area, relocating the Palestinian population, and reconstructing it into an economically flourishing area called the Riviera of the Middle East, a comment seen as distasteful, thinking about all the destruction that is going on in Gaza. The entire proposal faced massive criticism, and for a good reason. Forced removal of the Palestinian population would most certainly violate international law, such as the Geneva Convention. However, we'll see how the situation develops and how much of it is just rhetoric in the end. Speaking of criticism and incomprehension, we really have to talk about his tariff policy. Starting with threats towards Mexico and Canada, where he set a deadline for them to react and make concessions in terms of border control, or they would have had to face 25% impositions of tariffs on all products entering the United States. Turns out, Mexico and Canada actually reacted that way. But the tariffs aren't off the table yet. The concessions seem to have only satisfied the Trump administration for now. We'll see how that evolves. Additionally, as one of his more expected moves, he also imposed tariffs on China. One of his latest actions was a call with Putin. And we know about it from the White House and the Kremlin. So even though in the last 2 years, when it came to directly speaking with Putin, everything was kind of shady, this should be verified. But what did they actually talk about? The leading topic was, of course, the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war. And what they agreed on is actually quite remarkable. They agreed on negotiations on peace in Ukraine. Now, while this sounds great in terms of minimizing suffering of the people, and that should always be our goal, we have to raise the question on whether or not this peace treaty would be just in any kind of way. Because when it comes to concessions that Ukraine would have to make in the eyes of the Trump administration, they pretty much laid all their cards bare. First of all, they don't think that Ukraine should be secured through NATO membership. Secondly, they view a future in which the pre-2014 borders apply as unrealistic, and they think that European countries should take responsibility for Ukraine and its future. And while some, or even all of these points may be valid, the strange part really is just that they made themselves clear in all of them before the negotiations actually started. Furthermore, Trump and Putin agreed on meeting in person and keeping diplomatic relationships. So now we got to see how and if these negotiations will actually take place, and if yes, how they'll turn out. Now, the next big thing. We can really see there's a lot going on at the moment, and this video is probably going to be outdated tomorrow, but I still think it's important to kind of keep track of everything that happens. Now, USAID. Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, investigated the department and stated that it was beyond repair. They supported this by talking about corruption issues and programs that just sounded ridiculous. But we have to be really careful because they already took back some of their accusations. However, on his first day in office, Donald Trump signed an executive order to freeze all foreign aid for 90 days. The time is supposed to be used to investigate the department and, if necessary, reconstruct it. And while questioning government spending is a noble cause, the 90-day freeze really puts a lot of people in developing countries in a lot of trouble, because they rely on those HIV medications or whatever health issue they have. So we can really just hope and call out for these crucial programs to continue. Last and actually least, we got Donald Trump renaming the Gulf of Mexico into the Gulf of America. This can be seen as really just a patriotic show-off move and doesn't affect the people that much. It's also questionable whether or not the Gulf of America will actually go into the language of the people. So we'll really see in the next few years how that turns out. Thank you guys for watching. If you like the video, please leave a subscription and a like below. That would be very helpful. Thank you very much, and bye.